Welcome everyone, I'm Gayle. Thank you for joining me today for this practice, which is going to be a really powerful flow. So we're going to engage our muscles and try and balance hugging into the midline with expanding outward like you're flying. So a lot of it's going to be focusing on our breath, focusing on just subtle shifts in balance, and having a playful attitude and having fun. So let's start on our backs. Bring your heels in towards your hips and your hips towards your heels. Turn your heels out slightly and lift and spread all your toes. Then lower your toes to the floor, press into the earth, squeeze your legs towards each other and lift your hips up toward the sky. You can walk your shoulders in a little bit and press down a little bit more, see if you can lift a little bit higher, squeezing your legs in towards each other. Then slowly let your shoulders slide away from each other as you lower vertebrae by vertebrae from your upper back, down your lower back, into your hips, lower down. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, push down, reach your arms up as your hips raise up. Root your fingers to the floor and hug your legs in. Squeeze your glutes, lift up high. Keeping your hands where they are, start to slowly reach your tailbone away from your hands as you lower down, keeping your pelvis tucked as you lower. Feel that maybe a little extra length in your spine. Now inhale, press up again. Reach up super high. And this time as you exhale, lower your hands, lower your arms as you lower your back. And finally your hips to the ground. Reach your right leg up, point your toes, and press into your left foot, rise up. Then start to stretch your leg away from your head as you lower down. Draw your foot back up, and this time lift your left leg up. Press down through your right foot, lift your hips up, both hips up, reach high. And as you lower down, stretch your left leg towards the ground. Pull your knees up. Reach your hands behind your legs and just use your legs as little pumps to roll back and forth. And see if you can find a little balance. Balancing on your hips. Pull your shoulders back, puff your chest up. Keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. Keep your hands behind your legs or reach your arms forward. And just hug the legs in, lift up through your chest, pull your low back in. And then lower your feet to the floor, bring your hands behind you. And again, push into your feet, lift your hips up. Maybe lift up a little bit higher. Then lower your hips toward your heels, giving your shoulders a nice stretch. Feel free to bend your elbows. Maybe bend and straighten. Then lift up through your hips again, squeeze your legs towards each other, and this time send your hips back. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Sit up nice and tall. Feel the air moving in and out through your nose. And bring your feet down again, lift your hips up. And send your hips towards your heels, reach back through your elbows, and then walk your feet forward, coming into a squat. Reach your arms forward and let your head hang. Think of scooping your tailbone underneath you to get even more length in your back. And then bend your elbows, push your elbows back into your knees, bring your palms together, lift your heart up. Nice. Release your hands down, lift your hips up, parallel your feet. Lift your big toes up and take your second and third fingers and hook underneath your big toe. Press down through the metatarsal heads of all your toes and lift your big toes up and inward towards each other. So they splay towards the inside, creating more space in your feet and keeping that little lift. Good. Now lower your toes down, but keep them moving inward so that your feet are, your toes are kind of splayed out in like a fan, and they're nice and wide. And you should see space between all your toes. If you can't, just see if you can move your toes a little bit to find that space. Then squeeze your legs in towards each other, press down into the earth, inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, just kind of like do little figure eights with your wrists as you come into a forward fold. Rotate the palms up and reach up so your shoulders are internally rotated. Let your head lower. And then externally rotate the shoulders so the palms face forward and maybe even a little bit up. Bring your hands to the mat and step back into plank. Lower your knees down, point your toes, and sit back onto your heels. Let your forehead rest on the ground. Come up onto your finger pads and isometrically push your fingers forward. Notice how that feels in your shoulders and your hips. And inhale, round up into cat. Lower your palms down. Keep coming forward. Lowering your thighs toward the floor and opening up through your chest, coming into a little cobra, and just gently glide from side to side. Then push down through your hands, puff up through your back. And as you start to glide back, lift your hips and slide back into child's pose. I'll repeat that 2 more times. So inhale, round forward. Thighs down as you press the top of your feet into the floor and arc your heart forward. Soften your shoulders back. Then tuck your chin, spread your shoulders, lift up, rounding your spine, and about halfway back, switch to arching your back and gliding back into child's pose. One more time, inhale forward. Lowering down, activate the legs, open up the heart. And then start to tuck your chin in, spread the shoulders around your back, and then arch your back into child's pose. So we're going to repeat that, but doing it a little bit differently. So this time as you round forward, see if you can keep your heels up by your hips. Lower your hips down into like a cobra with your feet lifted. Then straighten your legs, press down through your feet, and make your way back into your child's pose. Again, inhale as you lift your hips, lift the legs, lower down. Keep pulling your heels in towards your hips and then straighten your legs, open up a little bit more. And make your way back into your child's pose. One more time, inhale, lift the heels, sink your hips down, pull the shoulders back. And exhale, round your, straighten the legs, and then puff up into your back and slide back all the way into downward facing dog. Feel that nice stretch in the back of your legs. Hug your arms in towards each other to activate your upper body. Inhale, round forward to plank. Keep coming forward, coming into upward facing dog. Take your chest forward, shoulders back. Then from the neck, start to curl, broadening the shoulders, puffing up into your back, and then lift your hips and slide back into your down dog. And just go back and forth at your own pace, exploring in ways that just kind of inspire you. And think of like a rolling action through your spine. Now then lower your knees to the floor, coming into tabletop. Stretch your right leg back, push into your big toe mound. push into your hands, hover your left lower leg just a little bit off the floor. Feel the actions that are required to do this. And lower your leg down, float your right leg up and your left arm forward. And bend your elbow and your knee. Keep your knee high. See if you can touch your elbow to your knee and stretch forward again. Exhale, bend the knee and hug in. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, reach forward. This time, bend your back knee. Sweep your left arm out and back behind you. Find your foot. Kick your foot back. Lift your chest forward. And release your hand, lower down. Just glide your hips from side to side. Now spin your fingers outward and towards your knees. And start to lean back into your heels, pushing the heels of your feet, pushing the heels of your hands forward, and pulling the shoulders back. And start to reach up through your fingers, slide your hands back, lift your knees up, stretching the top of your feet. Maybe you find a little balance here. And lower the knees down, bring the hands forward again. This time spin the hands inward and rock back and forth. Sit back on your heels, bringing the right hand behind your right foot. Sweep your left arm over and across, so lift up as you press your hips forward. You can be reaching off at a diagonal, or you could reach back into a little bit more of a back bend. Your choice. And lower the hips down. Swing your arm over to the other side and lift your hips up and forward. Nice. Lower your hips down. Come on back into tabletop. This time, flip your hands so the palms are facing up. Now, if you bring your hands towards your knees, it's going to be a lot less of a stretch, less strain. You could bring your hands further away, depending on how you're feeling today. And start to reach back, heels towards your hips. And flip your hands, coming back with your palms facing down. Stretch your left leg back. Float your right leg a little bit off the floor, just a little to hover. Keep that action in your body as you lower your right leg down, lift your left leg up, bring your right arm forward. And bend your elbow, touch your elbow to your knee, lifting up high. And inhale forward. Exhale together. Inhale, stretch apart. Exhale together. Inhale, stretch apart. This time, bend your left knee, lift from the inner thigh, and sweep your right arm back. Find your foot, and kick back, foot back, chest forward. Lift your knee up. Open up. And release your foot. Stretch back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Lift and spread all your toes. Keep this spreading as you lower down, and then press into your toe mounds. Lift your heels up. Lower the heels down and press into the heels. Lift the front of the foot up. Spread the toes, lower down, lift the heels. Lower the heels down, spread the toes, lift up. One more time. Lift the heels up. And lift the front of your feet up. Spread the toes. Bend your right knee, bring your left hand behind your back, and open up, twist to the left. Bring your left hand back down, bend your left knee, bring your right hand behind your back, and twist to your right. Bring your right hand back down, spread your toes again, and keeping the heels down, see how far forward you can walk, coming into your downward facing dog. Stretch your hips back, lift your belly up. Now inhale forward to plank. Lower your knees down. Stretch your right leg back and and float your right leg up. Float your left arm forward. Now see if you can lift your left toes, bringing your heel in towards your hip. You might find a little wobble here. Good. And lower down, lower your foot down. So we have less support when just like a knee, which is smaller than our whole lower leg on the floor. So you got to really stretch, like hug in and stretch out. Stretch your left leg back. Float the left leg up and the right arm forward. And see if you can draw that right heel up towards your hip. Keep your arm and legs strong that are stretching out. Good. Lower your hand down, lower your knee down. Stretch back into your child's pose. Inhale, round forward. Lower your forearms to the floor and step your feet back into forearm plank. Push down into your hands. Hug your legs in towards each other. Hug your arms in towards each other. And start to lift your hips as you walk your feet forward, coming into dolphin prep. Stretch your chest back towards your thighs. And there's an option to lift your right leg up if you want. Lower your right leg back down and step back into your forearm plank. And think of expansion with your breath, with your chest. We'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift your hips up, walk your feet forward. Option to stretch your left leg up toward the sky as you press your chest back towards your right leg. And lower your left leg down. Walk back into forearm plank. Lower your knees down. Stretch back into child's pose. Good. Round forward. Tuck your toes and lift your knees up into plank, full plank. Reach your left leg up and stretch it back. And then see if you can start to walk your right fingers forward and maybe float your right arm up. So keep reaching your arm forward and your leg back. And see if you can find the balance. Good. Lower down. So you can see that's not easy. Sometimes I can do it fairly well. Other times I could fall. And that's just part of learning. But notice like how you feel from the effort of doing that. So you can also just lift your leg up or lift your arm up. But if you want to try both, go for it. So stretch back into plank again. This time lift your left leg up. Oh, this time lift your right leg up. Right leg up. Lift up through the inner thigh and then start to just come up onto your left fingertips and walk your hands forward. And reach. Lower your hand down, lower your leg down. Rest back in child's pose. So we learn by trying things that are different, as well as repeating things that we're learning or have learned. So let's do that again. Tuck your toes, come on forward into plank. Reach your left leg up from the inner thigh, squeeze your leg in. Walk the right fingertips forward and slowly float your arm up. Breathe here. Lower down. Let's do the other side. So reach your right leg up. Squeeze the inner thigh. Start to walk your left hand forward. Keep engaging the legs of your muscles. Engage the muscles in your legs and float your right arm forward, your left arm forward. Good. Lower down and stretch back into down dog. Ooh, that built up a little heat there. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg up. Bend your knee, pull your knee forward and see if you can tap your upper arm. And slide your leg down. Exhale, pull it back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Shift your hips back a little bit. Come way up high on your left toes and step your right foot forward by your hands. Straighten both legs and reach back into both heels and stretch forward through your chest. And then think of arching your back a little bit, lifting up, and then rounding your back. Inhale forward and lift. Exhale, bow and round. Inhale forward and lift. Exhale, bow and round. Rotate the back foot open. Bring your left hand behind your back. Maybe you even reach your hands around and grab the inner thigh. And then pull your right hip underneath you, opening up the left shoulder. Push into both feet, release your arm up. And reach your arm over your ear, keep gazing up toward the sky. Bend your right knee forward, lowering your hips, coming into side angle. Stretch your arm forward as you lower down. Press into your right foot, float your left leg up into standing splits. And then lower your left leg till it's parallel to the floor and twist to your right. Revolved half moon. Keep your legs strong. Lower your right hand down. Square your hips. Try not to reach your leg way back, but lift from your inner thigh, from the hip joint. Stack your hips, stack the shoulders. Keep pressing into the tripod of your foot, especially into the heel, and reach your arm up. Maybe lift your leg a little higher, maybe gaze up toward the sky. Nice, lower your top hand down, stretch your left leg back. Keep the left heel lifted, rise up, crescent lunge. Open up and twist to your right. Reach back through your back fingertips and then reach forward through your front fingertips. And then reach back and forward. This time bend the left elbow, bring it to the outside of your right knee. Bring your palms together and twist, prayer twist. Lower your back knee down, spread your arms out and reach back for your heel as you reach your knee forward. Then swim the arms forward and step back into downward facing dog. On your inhale, sweep your left leg up. Bend your knee, hug your knee in towards your upper arm, and inhale, lower down. Exhale, pull it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Send your hips back a little bit, puff up into your back, and step your foot forward. Open the back foot up, triangle pose. Actually, bring your hand behind your back. Maybe you can reach your inner thigh. Press into your feet, open up through the chest. And then reach your arm up. Bend your knees, you reach your arm forward, lowering the hips, coming into side angle. And lower your hand to the floor. Shift your weight into your left foot, reach your right leg up, standing splits. Parallel your right leg to the floor and twist to your left, coming into revolved half moon. And lower your left hand down, stack your hips, put weight into your heel, open up, half moon. Maybe gaze up. Good. Lower your top hand down. Stretch your leg back. Lower your knee to the floor. Reach your arms up and twist toward your front leg. And maybe reach back, maybe find your heel. And as you come forward again, bring your elbow forward, bring your palms together, prayer twist. Release your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands, coming into a standing forward fold. Lift and spread all your toes, lower them down. Plug into the earth, bend your knees, sink your hips low, and reach your arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Step into your left foot, cross your right ankle above your left knee. Cactus your arms, pull your arms back, sink your hips low. Start to bring your right knee across, and we're going to hook the toes, maybe coming into eagle. Bring the right elbow in, wrap the left arm underneath. See if you can touch your elbows to your knees. And stay nice and low, unwrap your leg, and float on up, warrior three. Step back, crescent lunge, rise up. And lower your hands down, step up into standing splits. Lower your top leg down, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink low. Cactus your arms, pull the elbows back, shoulders back. Lift your left heel up, cross your left ankle above your right knee. Slide your knees together, eagle-eyes your legs. Bring the right elbow in, wrap the left arm underneath, and sink down nice and low. And release your arms, stretch your leg back, open up. Chest high, leg high. And step back, crescent lunge, reach your arms up. And lower down, step back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep your right leg up. On your exhale, step it all the way forward. Lower your left knee down and come into like a short lunge. So your knees are like 90 degrees. Place your right hand on your right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over. Continue reaching your left arm across, coming into prayer position. Lift your back leg up. Lean forward into your front foot and start to pick your back foot up off the floor. Cross your left knee above the right. Bring the right elbow in. Eagle-eyes your legs and eagle-eyes your arms. And reach your arms out, reach your leg back. Nice, lower your hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it all the way forward. Lower your right knee down. And rise up. Stretch your arms apart, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, bring the palms together. Look down, lean forward, lift your back knee up and see if you can bring the back leg forward, crossing your knee, wrapping around, bring the left elbow in, wrap the right arm underneath. Touch and then reach out, expand into warrior three. Reach back, crescent lunge, float your arms up. And lower your hands down, step back into down dog. And let's try that again because it's very challenging for me. So it's probably, maybe it's challenging for you, maybe you've done this before, maybe it's easy. But let's try it again. So reach the right leg up, step it all the way forward. Lower your left knee down, reach your arms up. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, reach your left arm over. Bring your elbow to the outside and bring your hands together, prayer position. Lift your back leg up off the floor. And look down and start to reach your knee forward, shifting your weight into your right foot. Keep your knee bent and cross your left ankle, wrap it around your right leg, bring your right elbow in, wrap the left arm around, and tap and touch, and release. Spread out, warrior three. Step back, crescent lunge, and downward facing dog. Take a little break here. On your next inhale, sweep your left leg up. Step it all the way forward. Lower your right knee down. Bring your left hand to your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. And cactus the elbow. Bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Bring your hands together, prayer position. Lift your back knee off the floor. Keep this hip hugging in and lean forward so most of the weight is in your left leg before you bring your right leg up and bring your left elbow in so you're wrapping your arms and your legs together. Tap and then explore and fly. Warrior three. Step back into your crescent lunge, rise up and lower your hands down. Step back, down dog. Walk your feet forward, come into a squat. And right away, let's get onto our backs. Lower your backs to the floor. See if you can lower down slowly. Let your shoulders touch last and hug your knees into your chest. Shift your hips over to the right. Straighten your left leg on the ground and your right leg up in the air. Open your right arm out to the right. Take your left hand over to the outside edge of your right leg, wherever you can reach. And start to pull your right leg over to the left as you roll onto the left side, the lower body. Keep the upper body twisting back to the right. And focus on your exhales, letting go. There's an option to bend your left knee, hold your left foot with your right hand. And we'll just stay here for a few breaths, really stretching out those glutes, the hip muscles that were really challenged during this flow. Finding a balance here. Release your left foot, straighten your leg out, pull your right hip back down to the ground, center your hips on the mat, and give your right foot a massage. So twist your foot, massage all across the arches. You can even grab a hold of your big toe and your pinky toe, spread them apart from each other, and use them to twist your foot. And then just twist your foot in all directions and just let your arms float up in the air. As you reach your right leg forward to lower it down, reach your arms back and behind you, finding a nice long stretch. And bend your knees, place your feet, shift your hips over to the left. Straighten your right leg on the floor, straighten your left leg up in the air. Bring your left hand out to the side and bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg, wherever you can reach. And bring your left leg over to the right. Keep twisting your upper body to the left so that you're rolled onto the outside edge of your right leg and the inside edge of your left foot. Option to bend your right knee, reach for your foot with your hand. Find a nice double stretch here. Really, since everything is connected in our bodies, whenever we stretch one place in our body, we're really affecting everything. In some places it's more subtle, some places it's more pronounced, you can feel it easier. And then just let yourself relax here. Release your right foot if you're holding it. Pull your left hip back down. Float your leg up, center your hips. And again, give your foot a nice massage. You know, this foot did a lot of work holding us up on one leg. Then maybe grab your big toe and your pinky toe and do a little twisting action. Reach your arms over your head and stretch out through your left leg as you slowly lower it down. Pull your ribs towards the earth. Then float your arms up and your legs up for a dead bug pose. Let everything relax. Now let's see if we can coordinate our wrists and our ankles. So flex your hands and your feet, pushing up through the heels of your hands and your feet. And then point and extend your fingers and your toes. And just go forward and back. Notice if there's any places that feel really different on one foot or one hand than the other. Just giving you information. And bend your knees, hold your feet coming into happy baby, and gently rock from side to side. Come back up to center, release your feet, stretch your legs out, lower your arms and legs to the floor, coming into Savasana, and just let everything relax. And I'll just do a short Savasana with you here. You're welcome to stay longer if you like. And just surrender softly. Feel your breath moving in and out gracefully, powerfully. You're welcome to stay here longer. You're welcome to stretch your arms over your head, stretch out through your fingers and toes. Press your ribs back into the floor. And then hug your knees into your chest. And your choice, rock or roll your way up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you feel like a little bit challenged, a little bit like kind of kinetic energy coursing through your body, and that you just feel uplifted and, you know, having fun, experimenting, exploring. Please hit the like bell if you like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the notification bell, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.